what's up, guys? It's Mark from Team Hobby Vault, and we've got here a little community spotlight for you. One of the friends of the team, Alex, has gone ahead and won himself something. Alex, what did you exactly do?
I won a winner mat somehow, half awakened with zero preparation.
I mean, that's just skill, surely.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So it was a winner map from the Extravaganza event that's just happened over the weekend. Just to confirm the format for this, it's 8 players to fire for the tournament itself, and it's a knockout at each round.
Yeah, that's correct. So 8 players. If you lose a match, you're out, and the last player standing gets a choice of a lovely mat out of a small selection.
Okay, and just out of curiosity, what did you go for?
I got the Charmer mat because it sells the best.
Fair, fair. It's a nice mat in fairness as well. The art is pretty good.
Oh yeah, it's dead cute, but I like this one. So
Fair. Alrighty. So, Alex, what did you play to get that win?
so I was playing Zoo-Brigade. I've been on the Bird Up deck for quite a while,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
I think it's fallen out of favor a little bit in my opinion. Got a little bored of it as well. Played it for multiple months, so I thought I'd try something new on the fly, and this is what I came up with.
Okay. Well, it clearly, obviously, and evidently worked. So, yeah. Show us what that infers. What's actually in that deck of yours?
Sure. So to start off with, it's just standard Tri Brigade lineup of 3 Fractal, 3 Kits, 3 Keras, and 3 Nerval. You just want to see them in every hand, ideally 2 of them, to be honest. So I just max out on all of them. I also now play Desires instead of Prosperity, so playing 2 really, you're really cutting it short, basically. It's just too risky.
Well, yeah. The whole numerics with desires just means that if you might just get rid of all of it, or you might just get the one. Yeah, no, fully understand that.
Absolutely. And for the zoos, I was playing 1 Ram, 1 Rat, and 1 Thoroughblade. So this should have been a Whiptail.
Okay.
I just didn't. I don't own one. Um, so I worked with what I had. I had to replace a few cards. This was just built kind of on a whim. So
Hmm.
this is all I had. I think even a second Ram probably would have been better than this. Just Thoroughblade's piercing really doesn't come up nearly as much as Ram's protection, Rapier's dumping, or even Whiptail's banishing.
Right.
So I wouldn't recommend playing this at all unless you want to play a 4th or 5th zoo in your list.
Got you. Okay. Okay. So.
But yeah, the reason I had cut the Lyrilusks and gone to zoo is like the Lyrilusks were super good last format when it was like a real roguey deck, like a it was quite unknown. A lot of people didn't know the Lyrilusk cards, but now there are so many more floodgates that affect them. Winder just absolutely kills the engine, and they're really low impact if you don't have exactly a way into Fractal and the best Lyrilusk.
Right.
So I chose to go with these instead. Also, way better going second because you can just normal summon make a Zeus.
Yeah. 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 Because protect with the Ram and then just keep going, I guess.
Yeah, it's just insane. Like with a Ram as well, it's like it forces out things like Dogmatica Punishment and Dragon Maid Tidying.
Okay.
Because as soon as you slap an Xyz on top, Ram can protect the Xyz from those cards. So just
Ooh.
really good.
That's gnarly. That is very definitely gnarly.
Right, moving on from those. So I was still on the Simorg package. A lot of the zoo lists currently aren't playing these, but I was a bit of a coward. I just wanted as many ways to establish a win condition as possible. So like if I'm under a Lancia, I can go the zoo route, maybe make another link as well. But usually it'll just be a zoo or some traps under Lancia. If I can't access the zoo engine, then I still have the Simorg link with the payoffs.
I mean, yeah, this is the key here because there's a lot of talk about the use of kaiju's with dragoon as well, but you can't actually use the uh interrupted kaiju slumber with the storm uh, idol that you have there. So actually, that I can see that being incredibly useful, if anything.
Yeah, it just I like things like Stall Fusion as well.
Yeah,
Just cutting them off from getting so much advantage from cards like that.
yeah.
It's really good. I would be interested to see how the deck fares without these cards, which is
Hmm.
probably where I'm going to go next with the deck.
Sure.
But for now, these are still super good.
Yeah. Fair.
So that's it for the engine monsters. For hand traps, it is just 3 Ash, 2 Droll, and 2 Meister.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh, it's an odd ratio, but they were targeted choices. So I was expecting mainly Dino and Shadol Vote players
Yeah.
at the winner mats, and that's exactly what I got. So the hand trap choices ended up being very good.
Uh huh.
I'm not sure if I'd main Skullmeister in the future. Uh, it's killer against Dino, but it's just probably not generic enough to main deck. But
Right.
I think Droll right now as a main deck card is real good.
Okay. Okay.
It,
Did you have any ideas what you changed the Skullmasters for, or
more trap cards,
more
I
trap
think.
cards? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, the trap cards ended up being really high impact when I drew them.
Sure.
So I think I want to play more rather than sort of the less impact hand traps. But Droll's insane.
Okay.
The impact is so high.
Okay. And what's kind of triggering the Joel, or is it just the fact that everyone's searching at the moment?
That's just the best decks right now are like Dragon Link Invoked, and I guess to a lesser extent Dinos.
Yeah.
All of them get hit by Droll. It
Yeah.
may not be turn ending for them, but it's going to hamper them so badly that it's going to make it a lot more easier for me to break their board without siding.
Sure. Sure. Okay.
So that's it for the monsters. We go on to the spells. It's 3 Tenki,
Three.
so it's
Thank you.
just consistency.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you can search a Zeus out of this and your engine is just so good. You always want to see this.
Yeah.
Next is 3 Desires. So uh, it's strange playing this with very specific targets for your combo, such
Okay.
as the statue,
Yeah.
but it honestly didn't matter. I banished it a few times, and I could just do other things, so I
Mm-hmm.
really didn't mind.
Okay. Plus, it's
Now that
two
I'm
cards
playing
cheaper, isn't it?
traps to better play around things like Lancia, the drawing off desires is just so good to get into a trap.
Yeah. I can appreciate it. And it's further into your deck as well, just to give you those cards that might just help you out. Be it, I mean, you've shown us your hand trap lineup. If you can get into one of those, then you're almost certainly hampering them one way or another.
Absolutely, yeah, it's so worth it.
Good, good.
Then just a few one-offs. You've got Barrage, pretty self-explanatory, right? It's a free special summon.
Yeah.
Called by the Grave. It's just so good. I can never imagine myself playing a deck without Called by the Grave.
Mm-hmm. Did you manage to resolve your one off, or
I didn't see it once.
you didn't
I
see it?
didn't see Barrage once
You
either.
didn't see Barrage once either. Oh yeah, yeah.
The one of I did see a lot was Rendezvous, the one you don't want to see.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, obviously this is the send-off kit. I would cut this. If you're not playing the Lyrilusk version, I would not play this, even if you're still playing the Simorg and the cards for it.
Got you.
Just having like an Ancient Warrior or a Giant on your board more often means that this probably isn't worth the dent in your consistency anymore.
Sure. Sure. Okay.
So that is
Of
it
course,
for the
Ancient
spells.
Warriors are Beast Warriors as well, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Okay. I see where that comes from.
Somehow, yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Okay, traps. So this is kind of new for this deck. It's only the last month or so people have started playing traps in Tri-Brigade, really.
Okay.
So I played 3 Tri-Brigade Revolts,
Yeah.
3 Solemn Strike, and 2 Imperm.
Right. Okay. So
So,
yeah, I don't know. Carry on. I was just like, wow, that I can just see that's going to stop things dead. Like a well placed strike is just gonna, it just ends for some people. But yeah, no,
yeah,
sorry, carry on.
this is what I was saying about replacing some of the lesser good hand traps with actual traps, because a solemn strike is just so much more impactful than like a Skullmeister
Hmm.
at the moment. Like striking a high investment monster right now, it feels so good.
Yeah.
And it's the same with Revolt. Instead of a hand trap like going one for one, a Revolt gets you a body on board, a quick play banish with the guy you summon, and a search of the Nurble.
Ooh.
It's just nuts.
Yikes. That's just plussing for no reason.
Yeah, it's insane. As soon as it's searchable, you could probably cut this down to two,
Hmm.
but as it is now, you just want to draw it. It's so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then the two imperms are really just to fill out the rest of the deck. It's quite a low impact card at the moment, but I just wanted more ways to easily out like a Wind or a Mechaba Negate.
Yeah.
So these are just the last two cards I decided to put in. Debatable whether I should be playing them or I will be playing them in the future, but they did fine. They were just fine.
Okay. Well, fine worked in this case. So.
It did, yeah. That was the main deck. I think it's 41 cards.
Okay. So 41.
So the extra deck. The Xyz, we have Trident, Orbo, Chakanine, and Zeus.
Sure. Yeah.
Uh, Zeus obviously be way more important in this variant. Just the power play Zeus brings. It demands instant interaction from your opponent. Really good.
Okay.
I went into this a lot. Like every time I went second, I think I managed to get away into Zeus. It's just nuts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So the one problem with this though is that my Tiger Mortar didn't arrive in time, and
Oh, yeah. Just noticed there's no Tiger Mortar. Oh, okay.
yeah, so without Tiger Mortar, doing a combo that gets you into the Zodiacs without hard drawing them or getting it off of a Tenki or a sack is very difficult. Uh, Tiger Mortar with Chakanine and Rapier enables you to get into Trident, Appaloosa, and the Ancient Warrior link
Yeah.
without opening any zoos, which is just insane. But
Yikes.
I was cut off from that combo to the tournament, which it kind of hurt because I could have done it several times.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah,
Yikes.
and in future, I definitely play Tiger Mortar. No questions asked.
Yeah.
That's all of the Xyz. For links, Almirage.
Yep.
For many of your combos, it is just going to start off by normal summoning a Tri-Brigade, which is super fine because you have Almirage. Just don't play Link Karibo. This is so much better. It makes kit work as well.
Yeah.
For Link 2s, we have one Farajit, one Ancient Warriors, and one Harpy Conductor.
Okay.
The Conductor I would cut for the Tiger Mortar.
Sure.
This was a last minute inclusion. This could have also been a second Farajit or a third Shreg. Any of them are fine.
Yeah.
Then obviously the Baron Blossom is just part of your combo. Almost always used in this variant. It's a lot more important than the Lyrisk variant. So I think playing two in this is a lot better than playing two in the Bird Up deck.
Okay.
And Link 3s, we have Brugal. You just have to run him because it's a Tri-Brigade. He really isn't that good, but he gets the job done.
Yeah.
The Doom Eagle, super good for things like Eldritch and Misk in the graveyard.
Yeah.
Comes up a surprising amount. I don't think I could cut this guy. He's just too cool.
Yeah. No, it was a common in was it Echo? Or
It was a rare in Raging Rampage?
that was it. Okay, yeah.
Rarer. Yeah, Rising
Rare.
Rampage.
Yeah, okay.
It was definitely one I had to go bulk diving for, but
Yeah.
worth the effort. And then obviously I was also playing the Samorg Bird. I will be trying the deck without it next.
Okay.
I've just grown too attached to it from playing Bird Up so much. The advantage and the pressure it puts on is so insane.
say they need to almost interact with that straight away, don't they? If they don't, then they're facing a bit of a wall themselves.
Yeah, so the barrier statue really isn't that strong, but outing the barrier statue, you don't really care because if they've put enough effort into outing the barrier statue, you still have the smog, which gets you to like a negate or your engine. It's just so good.
Yeah.
And that's it for the Link 3s. So the remainder are Link 4s.
Mm-hmm.
So I played 2 Charade.
Yeah.
I could very much see 3 of these being played once the trap is searchable,
Mm-hmm.
or even before, because you just always want to be summoning this. The advantage you get from resolving Revolt and summoning this card is so good. I feel like if you resolve Revolt for Omen, you win the game.
Yeah.
It's just that impactful.
Yikes.
Then the last 2 are just Appaloosa and Access Code.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, if if you're going second and you Zeus away their board, and they have nothing else, no follow up, then the next turn you can just normal summon a Tri-Brigade, make a Link 3, go into Access Code, and with Access and Zeus, they're dead.
Well, yeah, because that's
It's just
instantly
super good.
Yeah. 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 Yikes. And it's
And then
just so versatile that
Appaloosa is
engine,
just
isn't it? I mean, like you can get up into these Link 4s so incredibly easily.
yeah. The fact that it doesn't hard lock you into the tri types
Mm-hmm.
is so good.
Yeah.
Like I've had multiple be like, wait, you can do that? You can summon Access? I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
And they pick up their cards.
Here's the big boy. End of game.
And obviously the Appaloosa is super key for boards in which you don't end on the Simorg. It's quite easy to make, usually only with two negates, but it's enough for a lot of decks. It's just so strong right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is the extra deck, all 15.
Wow. Okay.
Again, Tiger Mortar was definitely missed. More so than the Whiptail.
Yeah. Because that's part of your whole lineup with the XZs anyway, isn't it? I always remember back in Zoo format that Mortar would always find its way one way or another.
Always comes up, yeah. It made making a double send Zeus a lot easier as well. It didn't let me use like one of the other Zoo effects, then still go into a double send Zeus. So I couldn't pop with Dryden beforehand, for example.
Yikes. Okay, so it was that impactful not having it.
Yeah, it was real constricted. I definitely recommend playing it.
Mm-hmm.
For the side deck, this was built in 5 minutes. It is not very good. Definitely change it.
Okay.
What I wouldn't change is 3 Lancia. It just wins the game. I hate this card. It gives me like those awful brain tingles. I hate them. This card is awful. Next, I played 2 Phantasme. So this would go out in exchange for Imperm,
Sure.
or so is the theory, so I could dig for more hand traps against Dragon Link. I did not go against the Dragon Link, so they didn't come in. It could have been something else. I feel like the theory's still sound, though. This card's real good right now.
Yeah. We are starting to see it a lot more in a couple of the higher lists, and I think there was a couple of lists from the main event Extravaganza that was maining the Phantasme anyway because of Dragon Link.
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely a good choice right now. Even the decks where you wouldn't really think Link so much, like most of the time, even if you're playing like Invoked, they're going to go into a Link.
Mm-hmm.
Dinos are going to go into a Link.
Yeah.
Like you could Phantasme off of Secure Gardener and draw an Ash off of it, and then Ash their pill. It's pretty good. For the spells, Twin Twisters, 3 of, and Harvey's Feather Duster.
Yep.
I think Cosmic is better at the moment, but everyone and their grandma is going to be putting in Lancia against you. So running Cosmic is just really bad. It conflicts a lot.
Yeah.
I don't want to be forced to chain it to the Lancia blind. I want to be able to pick and choose when I use them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. And you're going to need your back row removal because there are control decks out there still. But just being able to go ahead and use that and not have it interrupted is really key.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, I can't imagine running anything else.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like Lightning Storm in this either.
Yeah,
I just don't like the restrictions it holds.
yeah, no, definitely.
I can't afford them.
No, well, I wish I could afford them, but it's just that's not going to happen for a while.
Yeah. Tins. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Next was two Dark Rulers.
Okay.
I wanted some kind of blowout against Big Combo, and I think Nibiru's not amazing right now. So that there are a lot of decks that Nibiru just doesn't do anything against. So I just about decided to go Dark Ruler more instead.
Yeah.
There's also another Winder out, which is basically my only fear with this deck is a Winder.
Yeah.
Then the rest were traps. So this is pretty awful. One trap trick,
Okay.
2 D barrier,
Uh-huh.
and 1 Imperial Order.
You say that's awful, but that's actually really well thought out. Ultimately.
Yeah.
I
So
think it is.
the theory
Yeah.
was if I'm going first,
Mm-hmm.
I add in 1 trap trick to
Yeah.
get more copies of my traps. I would also add in D barrier if I was against Zoo or Invoked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very impactful against Invoked, just ends their turn. And Imperial Order again was for like Invoked, Dinos. A lot of the decks just using so many spells right now, and it doesn't really affect you too much. You're only playing a few spells. You're going to probably use them before Imperial Order's flipped up anyway.
Yeah. It's just such a
But
nice
yeah,
generic response as a whole. And if you look at a lot of lists in the past that won YCSs, they've always got it. I've noticed, like it's just that impactful for quite a bit.
yeah, it's a super insane card. It probably shouldn't be in the game, but
Yeah.
hey ho, it is. So I'm going to use it. Yeah, so these D barriers never came in, even though I played Invoked twice.
Okay.
So what these should be is, I believe it's called Contacting C or Retaliating C. I think it's Retaliating.
Yes.
Yeah, the C hand trap that stops your opponent from fusing or something.
Yes,
Just 'cause-
indeed. It's got to be used as a material for whatever they summon from the extra or something like that, isn't it? I believe.
Yeah, so it'll just completely stop their plays, really. There's also another thing you can dig off of Phantasme.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's just better than D barrier.
Mm-hmm.
So I would not play these. The other two, debatable.
Yeah.
But that was the side you went with. The only ones that really came up were Lancia and Dark Ruler. I didn't play any back row decks, so none of the back row removal came in.
Yeah.
It was just mainly Lancia.
Fair. And so you kind of hinted to what you would change, but just go and highlight through again. So you definitely wanted your Whiptail.
Yeah, for sure. So Whiptail replacing the Thoroughblade, or equally the Rendezvous if you want to play a fourth. I never banished all 3 off Desires, but 4 is fine. You're definitely not banishing 4. It's just never going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then Tiger Mortar instead of the Harpy Link.
Yeah.
And then I guess more broad stuff. More traps.
More traps.
I'm just gonna try playing more traps. Yeah, they're pretty fun.
Yeah. Have you got any particular ideas on what the traps that you would replace though? I know you kind of hinted slightly, but
I'd love to play Ice Dragon's Prison. I currently don't own them.
okay.
But I don't really want to play things like Dynamiscus because I just don't want to have to discard.
Yeah.
You don't really get much benefit from the discard, unlike things like Shadol. So I'm not sure I'd want to play that.
No, and Dragon's Prison just makes sense because of the whole out for Dragoon type thing as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just super good, and like you can get rid of a window with it. You can get rid of a Mechaba. anything that dragon summons you can get rid of.
Yeah.
It's super good.
Yeah.
And then another consideration would be torrential tribute. This is where rendezvous may be actually very good because you can set up your board in a way that you can TT and keep all of your monsters on board.
Uh. Uh.
So yeah, I'd be very interested in seeing how that. Yeah, those would replace the Simorg payoffs
Mm-hmm.
and a couple of the hand traps.
Sure. Sure. Well.
And I think the only thing I know I'd want to put on the side instead of what I did was judgments.
Okay.
As soon as the cat's out of the bag that I'm playing back row, all of the removal's going to come in. And if I know I'm going first anyway, I feel like I should be playing judgment.
Yeah. I mean that's fair. It's a pretty standard counter trap that stops everything in its path. No, fair enough. Well, thank you very much, Alex. We'll hopefully see you soon once lockdown has ended.
Yeah, definitely. Sure.
Congratulations on the win and the mat, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you very much.
Okay.